101 AD. Legionary Gaius removes his collegae after a 50-kilometer march. Feet red, swollen from the load. He expects blisters. Yesterday they climbed uphill in rain, collegae soaked through. Gaius feels his feet. Skin is hot but smooth. Not a single blister. Not a single bloody wound. Year 2024. Alps. A tourist removes Nike sneakers after a 15-kilometer hike. Socks stuck to heels, wet with sweat. Peels them off. Under the sock, a solid blister the size of a coin. Blood seeps through. Tomorrow, walking further will be torture. $250 a pair. Innovative cushioning. Breathable membrane. What did Romans know 2,000 years ago? How 90 iron nails in open sandals worked better than modern technology, and why closed footwear kills feet while collegae kept them combat-ready month after month. 101 AD. Germanic Front. Legate Marcus Ulpius Trajan receives a report. Dacians broke through the border 180 kilometers north. Immediate deployment of a cohort required. Centurion Lucius Cornelius lines up a maniple before dawn. 160 legionaries tighten collegae straps on ankles, check equipment. Each carries 45 kilograms on a wooden pole, armor, gladius, pilum, entrenching tools, tent, 3 days' rations. Order: forced march, 50 kilometers in daylight. The column moves along a gravel road. Sun rises, heat builds. Dust stands in a column. Thousands of feet strike stones in unison. The clang of iron collegae nails on pavement is heard a mile away. Every 5 kilometers, 10-minute stop. Legionaries drink diluted vinegar from flasks, tighten equipment straps. By noon, the march becomes an ordeal. Sweat floods eyes, tunic sticks to body, shoulders burn from straps. Collegae straps cut into ankles, leaving red marks. Young legionary Gaius stumbles. Centurion barks, hold formation. Column doesn't slow. 5th hour of march. Road goes uphill, 300 meters elevation. Ground slippery after yesterday's rain. Here, collegae nails work like spikes, dig into earth, prevent sliding back. Legionaries climb confidently, though each step costs effort. Sunset. Column reaches the river. Campsite. Lucius commands halt. Legionaries drop loads to the ground. Gaius unties collegae straps with trembling hands. Feet red, swollen from load, but skin intact, not a single blister. Feet burn with fatigue, but they're capable of rising tomorrow and walking another equal distance. Centurion walks the ranks. Who's limping? Who can't dig? Silence. In half an hour, legionaries are already digging a ditch around camp, setting up tents, lighting fires. In a modern army after such a march, half the fighters would be in medical. Romans considered this normal service. The secret isn't superhuman endurance. The secret lies in footwear design forgotten for 2,000 years. Dawn over camp. Gaius wakes to the sound of the buccina. Body aches, but first thing he looks at his feet. Runs palm over soles. Skin hot, slightly swollen, but smooth. No blisters. Nearby sits Marcus, veteran with 10 years' service. Examines his collegae by firelight. Lost 3 nails, he mutters. This is normal. Every 100 kilometers you lose a dozen out of 90. Gaius takes his collegae and examines the construction. Sole, 3 layers of bull hide stitched through. Thickness over a centimeter. On top, open system of straps embracing foot and shin to mid-calf. 8 to 10 straps 2 fingers wide. Entire construction held by knots, not a single nail in the upper part. Marcus shows how to properly put on collegae. Thread foot through the weave of straps, tighten knots from bottom up. Leather fits snugly around leg but doesn't squeeze. Between straps remain wide gaps. See? Through them you see shin skin. This is key. Foot isn't sealed in a leather bag. It breathes. He points to gaps between straps. Air passes through. Sweat evaporates immediately. Seal foot in a leather bag. In an hour, inside will be like a sauna. Wet skin is soft. Soft skin rubs. By evening, blisters size of coins. Gaius remembers Germans from auxiliary cohort who wore closed leather boots barbarian style. After a week of march, half were limping. Wet feet inside boots turned into bloody mess. Column passes a stream. Centurion commands short stop. Legionaries lower feet into water right in Caligay. Gaius feels cold water flow between straps. Wash heated skin, rinse away dust. Caligay completely soaked. Marcus nearby massages calves. You can wet Caligay as much as you want. Water drains immediately through gaps. In an hour, they'll be completely dry. In half an hour, Column moves again. Gaius looks at his Caligay. Sole leather still damp, but straps already almost dry. Water drained, air dried the rest. Modern tourist crosses a stream in sealed sneakers. Water gets inside, but there's no way out. Synthetic membranes trap moisture. Socks get wet, skin softens, friction begins. By evening, blisters. Roman Caliga solved the problem radically. Don't create barriers, simply leave foot open. Modern manufacturers sell breathable sneakers for $200. Gore-Tex, mesh inserts, perforation. Marketing promises ventilation. But it's a compromise. Foot still in a bag of synthetics. Romans made no compromises, simply left foot open. No technologies, no patents, and it worked better. But open construction is only half the story. The other half lies in what sticks out from the sole, and here real engineering begins. Rome, military camp near Mogontiacum. Gaius stands at the forge watching Legion Faber, blacksmith, forge nails for Caligay. Hammer strikes red-hot iron, sparks fly. Each nail 1.5 centimeters long, with wide flat head and square shaft. Marcus holds his old Caligay. See the pattern on the sole? 90 nails arranged not randomly. Dense at edges, every centimeter. Free in center, 3 fingers between nails. This is engineering. He flips the Caligay, points finger at edges. Sole edges are contact zone. Nails work like spikes, dig into ground, prevent slipping on climbs, on wet clay, on stones. Gaius remembers yesterday's hill climb, slippery clay. But Caligay held every step. And in center fewer nails, Marcus continues, because that's where main weight load falls. If center were solid with iron, it would be hard as stone, would bruise feet in first 10 kilometers. He presses finger on sole center, leather flexes. Free leather works as shock absorber. On impact with ground, it compresses, dampens part of impact. Edge nails hold traction, center leather dampens vibration. Modern sneakers do the opposite. Thick rubber sole completely isolates foot from ground. Manufacturers promise cushioning, but foot doesn't feel surface. Muscles relax. Natural biomechanics disrupted. Roman Caligay forced legionary to feel every stone. Foot worked actively, muscles tensed, impact distributed naturally. Faber pulls another batch of finished nails from furnace. Each legion loses 10,000 nails every 2 to 3 weeks of march. Legion is 5,000 men. Each Caligay loses 10 nails per 100 kilometers. Marcus takes handful of fresh nails from Faber, tosses them in leather pouch. Clavarium came yesterday, payment for Caligay repair. I'll buy nails for 2 weeks ahead. Tomorrow I'll sit, hammer into soles everything I lost. Otherwise, in a week I'll be limping. Clavarium is a special item in military budget. Roman army understood. Soldiers' footwear is foundation of combat readiness. Legion moves on legionaries' feet. If feet fail, legion fails. So state allocated money specifically for nails. Army boots last 1 to 2 years, cost $150. Torn, throw away and buy new. Caligay lasted 500 to 1,000 kilometers, cost 5 denarii, weekly legionary wage. Today, roughly $100. But Caligay were repaired with nails for pennies. 1 nail, several asses. Handful of nails, denarius. Legionary repaired footwear himself in field conditions. Economics and practicality. Archaeologists 2,000 years later find these nails by thousands at Roman campsites. In Germany, they discovered entire nail production workshop. By nail concentrations, scholars reconstruct legion routes across all Europe. Where legion passed, thousands of iron traces remained. Marcus puts on his caliga, stands, stamps foot on stone pavement. Nails ring on stone, metallic clang. This sound was heard by Rome's enemies from Britain to Judea. This is warning. Legion comes. And it will arrive, because its feet won't fail. Construction perfect for March. But what when winter comes? Evening, camp by river, cold snap, autumn wind pierces to bones. Marcus pulls from bag long strips of wool fabric, fascia. Winter comes, we wrap bindings from ankle to knee, he shows, wrapping shin. Wool warms, wind doesn't pass. But caligae themselves we don't change. Even in Britain, even in Germania, in winter, legionaries wear them. Just add fascia. Fascia fit tightly over straps, cover gaps, but don't choke leg. Air still circulates between fabric layers. Romans served on Danube, in Britain, in Scotland mountains, where winters killed unprepared, but they didn't switch to closed boots. Gaius wraps fascia on his shins, warmth immediately, wind stops penetrating, but foot still breathes through open caligae straps. Morning, Gaius puts on dry caligae on dry feet, tightens straps, checks nails with finger. Marcus nearby. 4th day of March, 3 more days to border. Will your feet hold? Gaius looks at his feet, red, tired, but without a single wound. They'll hold. They held, because caligae worked with foot physiology, not against it. Stop. You just heard about construction that worked for 400 years. But here's what nobody explains. Why such effective footwear completely disappeared? Answer lies in how war itself changed. 3rd century. Battle of Adrianople, 378 AD. Roman infantry suffers catastrophic defeat from Gothic cavalry. Empire changes strategy. Bet now on cavalry, not legions. Cavalry needs closed boots for stirrups. Infantry adopts barbarian footwear, closed calci. Caligae pass into history. Not because they're bad, because war changed. Legions no longer march deep into enemy territory for thousands of kilometers. Army stands on borders, defends. Fewer campaigns, less reason for footwear for forced marches. Knowledge forgotten over centuries. Medieval knights wore closed boots. Armies of modern era, leather boots. 20th century, combat boots. 21st century, Gore-Tex sneakers. But 1800 years later, reenactors recreated caligae from archaeological finds. Put them on, went on 30-kilometer marches with load. Result? Feet hold. Open construction works same as 2,000 years ago. Year 2015, Britain. Group of reenactors covers 50 kilometers in reproduction caligae. Result? 80% of participants have feet without blisters. 15% have minor chafing, improper strap tightening. 5% have blisters, new caligae, leather not broken in. For comparison, control group in modern trekking boots. After 50 kilometers, 60% have blisters. 30% have bloody blisters. 10% have serious injuries requiring march halt. Open construction beats closed. Again. Remember legionary Gaius from the beginning? The one who walked 50 kilometers and expected blisters? Here's the final answer, why his feet stayed intact. 2,000 years ago, a Roman legionary walked 50 kilometers per day, in open sandals, with 90 iron nails in the sole, under 45 kilograms of load, feet without blisters. Today, a tourist can't walk 15 kilometers in sneakers for $250, with innovative cushioning, with breathable membranes, with 360 ventilation, feet bloody by evening. The difference isn't technology, the difference is philosophy. Romans understood, foot must breathe, leave it open. Foot must feel ground, don't isolate it with foam. Skin must stay dry, let water drain, don't seal it in a bag. Modern manufacturers take a different path. Close foot hermetically, add membranes, promise ventilation, sell for $250. And every year, millions of tourists return from hikes with ruined feet. Buy new sneakers. Hope next pair will be better. And the solution existed 2,000 years. Holes in straps, 90 nails, and understanding that simplicity works. Next time you see sneaker advertising with revolutionary breathing technology, remember, Romans did this with open straps. No patents, no marketing, no $250 price tag. And legions walked in these primitive sandals from Britain to Persia, conquered half the world. While their feet held, empire held. Sometimes innovation is return to simplicity. Sometimes ancients knew more than we think. Do you know what else Romans did brilliantly simple? Roman concrete self-heals after 2,000 years. Next video, we'll break down white spots scientists considered defects for 200 years. Turned out to be self-healing mechanism. Secret modern engineers try to replicate. Subscribe so you don't miss it.